Good morning, gardening friends. It's now November 21st, about a week before Thanksgiving, at 8:30 in the morning, about 62 degrees and rainy here in Southern California. We finally hit winter, I guess. If you listen off in the distance, you might hear a couple things. That's if the camera's picking it up. Let's go in closer. Well, hopefully you can see that. We've got water coming down from up above. It's not actually rain. It's like it hits the roof and then over time it's kind of rolling off. Right now it's not actually raining. Well, it is, but it's not hard like it has earlier. Anyway, that water that comes off hits the flower box and bounces in and hits the soil and bounces out. And it's actually done damage. It looks like it's done damage to a few of these seedlings. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of these off the wall, including a brand new one I put up yesterday, which I'll show you real quick. But I'm going to take them all off the wall just to protect them. Good morning, gardening friends. It's now November 23rd at about 10:15, and it's about 60 degrees, and I apologize for the last update I tried to do got interrupted. Turns out while I've been fiddling with my camera and a hack program, I had forgotten that I had assigned the same button for focus to the button that actually starts and stops the video. So I was sitting there in a quandary trying to figure out I can start it, no problem, but how do I stop it? Anyway, not a whole heck of a lot has really changed around here this week, so there really hasn't been much opportunity or need for updates. I think what I'll do is I'll just give you a tour, show you kind of where things are right now, and I got a couple of good still photos that I can also insert into the video. So here we go. First up, we've got the big planter. Now in the big planter, we've got the acorn and kabocha squash in the back there, and they are doing really nicely, growing up quickly. I have some, I'm working on sort of a time-lapse sort of thing, which I'm going to release probably the same time I release this video. Let's also look at, in the front, we've got the radishes and carrots doing nicely. Well, actually, I should say the carrots are just starting to pop, and you'll be able to see those on the other video because they're more sort of an overhead shot, which is easier to do in still and harder to do in video. Anyway, that's the big planter. Then we have the medium planter, and there we've got one tomato. Looks like it's almost ripe. The last tomato I picked tasted good. It was ripe, but it just didn't quite look ripe, if that makes any sense. Wasn't fully red yet. Anyway, you can see some of the leaves are kind of dying off on this. They're not doing all that well. It has been colder than usual, or it's getting cold. It is November, and we're going to start hitting some good cold spells here. But that's it for the medium planter. The small planters are doing nicely also. The flowers really looking good, and all of the lettuce and spinach type stuff is doing well. I've been enjoying most mornings coming out and snipping off a leaf from each, and it's just kind of something interesting to chew on for the texture and what have you. The nursery is also doing pretty good, although it suffered a little bit of damage in the rain a couple of days ago, and that will be more apparent in the next video I post, which is basically like a time lapse, but it's a day-by-day time lapse of several different items. So just kind of watch for the nursery, and you'll see where some of the individual sections of these 6-packs and 4-packs got eroded out by rain falling from above. Actually, runoff coming from above. I believe I had wrapped up my last video by telling you that, or near the end of it, that I had planted some petunias, so you can kind of see how the petunias are doing in the front corners of this one, but to be fair, they haven't quite exploded in the others yet. The plantings here are doing pretty nicely. The poppies and cosmos continue to grow. We'll see how that all works out. Actually, the poppies look oddly kind of like carrots. Anyway, I did notice that we've got some colors starting to appear in these pots up on the wall. We got the marigold, and off in the distance there, let's see if we can capture it, is, well, let's go closer. And another one here. Normally I wouldn't call this out, but if you can actually see it, there's a lot of sort of dead leaves hanging from the top of the pergola. So I think I'm going to have to just go and cut a lot of that back. If there's anything still alive, I'll wrap it around on the sides and we'll just let it continue to grow. So we'll see what becomes of that. And up in the north courtyard, we've got these newer plantings which have taken hold, and so we're going to let them continue to grow and see what we get. I believe what we've actually got here is 2 zinnias left and right and a marigold up in front. And if you're wondering, it's actually still growing up along this lattice. I don't know if you can see any of the flowers there. Let me try and zoom in here. Yeah, maybe you can see a little bit of it. Some cardinal climbers and some black-eyed Susans. And finally, there's this shot up along the corridor. If this doesn't work out, I've got some stills that should be better, but I'm suspecting that what's happening is there's something wrong with the metering in the camera, and that's why a lot of the times things just get blown out. But that should be it for this episode. Until next time.